welcome to another fabulous, deep, intense episode of Paint Sip and Relationships. First, let me before I even get into the topic for the day, um, I want to, of course, welcome our host, Rain Congreo. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Bryson?
I'm good. Fabulous, great feedback from everyone that's been tuning in. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in to these segments. And what a doozy today. I mean, so the topic is blended families.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in Second Life we all can relate to this topic. I'm gonna leave it with Rain to start, and then I'll come in with a few little tidbits. Okay, but yeah, I think she can at least guide us in the right direction on this topic. And boy, oh boy. So, Rain, what's your thoughts on
Mm.
this topic of blended families?
Oh, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. It can be a lot of drama, but then it can be very well done, depending on if you pick the right people to be around and be in your family. Because at some point, you're probably going to be with these people, just like you're with the people at work. You're around them
Right.
constantly. So yeah, I think it can work, and I think families in general in SL can work. But again, it depends on who you bring into your circle. Um, One of the things that I can say about just you and I having a blended family is the way that you did it and you came into my family was probably different from most because it wasn't like I had a man and you just showed up. I said you was my man, and now everybody got to accept you. That's not the reality of
No. Yeah,
how
true.
any of how any of
It wasn't that easy. No, Jack.
how any of this happened. But I think the way you came in and you got to know the people, and you got to meet them, and they really got to know you, and you again, from even our last segment, the consistency, you stayed consistent. But I think what really I think made the impact is you literally got the whole family unit together as one, and you had a sit down. Now, mind you, I'm not even around. I think I was at work that day. But
Hmm.
you get the whole family unit together and you sit them down and you tell them about our relationship, and then you basically ask them, hey, I want to partner your mom, and I think that kind of gave people a level of easiness,
Hmm.
and wanting to get to know you because you had your cards up front. Now, most people that have ulterior motives are probably not going to do that and really just don't care and don't take into consideration. And then there's some people that don't really know how to blend into a family at all. But I also think we have some trauma within those family units as well because maybe I've got my father's over here, but my mom's not with my father, and both of you have, both of us have that. I have my family, you've had your family, and you've had different children with the partners that you had, and I have too. And so I think there was some trauma in that when we first started because people were like, wait, I thought you were dating and now you want to marry. Well, why can't you just date? And I think that came from both sides, but in the end, it's our life and we're going to do what we see fit. But I think it's also in how we deal with those people from each, coming into kind of make it from two units into one, and make sure that everybody kind of meshes together. And if they don't, then it's not like they have to hang around each other or anything like that. But I don't think we've ever had that problem with our families being around each other so much. But I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had a fair share of drama, especially this last year.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and yes, I agree. Um,
go ahead.
but I was gonna
Go
say, I
ahead.
mean, but then here's my concern. Blended families, one thing, when you have someone that you're coming into the family and it's okay, I got these are my say kids or these are my family members, and you have your set of family members, and if we're all going to be around, then we all need to get to know each other and that type of thing, right?
Hmm.
The problem I have is when the dad is now the uncle, or the uncle is now the dad, or now they ain't in the family no more, and now they, he was the son, and now he's your man. This is the stuff that I have problems with, right? Because honestly, let's just take it back. Maybe I'm an old head. Y'all gonna say that because of 16 years on this game, but I remember when none of this was a factor. There was no, oh, that's my dad. Oh, that's my cousin. Oh, that's my. It was just, hey, that's such and such, right? Cool.
Mhm.
Person. Oh, he's dating this person or she's dating this person. Okay. And then all of a sudden, it metaphored, it just like metamorphosed into this, you know, like now we're in relation, now we're family. And the only family back then was just by your last name. Like the name that you had when you made your account, you kind of was tied to that family. Like if you
Mhm.
were Capellini or Luciano or that type of thing. But other than that, it wasn't none of that. This is my. You might say this is my brother or this is my sis, but the whole mom, dad, cousins, uncles, all that stuff. SL, especially on the urban side, is small.
Right.
So the chances of you meeting somebody that ain't tied to someone in some way is extremely small. And I don't mean to put folks out there, but one of our guests, Gladiola said it with Taz. When they first met, it was like, okay, so who's in your family? I mean, it was like this to see who is tied to who, because oh, but that's my actual cousin that's your auntie. Okay, whoa, it's like come on now. I mean, you know what I mean. So that's the part I have issues when it comes to the blended family thing. I mean, when it's just outright, like just blunt, like this was your baby, he was paying a little, and now all of a sudden he's your man under a different avatar. It's the same dude. It's like, come on. So really, like that kind of stuff, or people that come in and just on purpose try to mess stuff up. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna take it back to this level. Back in the day, you used to run. Oh, I want a kid. There wasn't no mesh babies running around and stuff. It was somebody was at an adoption agency that played a child, and that's who you wanted. Well, these little kids start getting real good and start going, well, I want Linden, I want this. And then you go run out and buy, oh, the baby got to have a room. So you go buy a whole new set of stuff for the baby and all this crap. And then all of a sudden, oh, I want Linden to go shopping and this, and this. Meanwhile, they trying to hit on the mom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, really? This kind of stuff. Like, can we have some ground rules? If you
Well, I
my
think
son
that I
or
think
my
that goes back
daughter,
to our boundaries. Yeah, I think that goes
yeah,
back to our boundaries.
I agree. I agree. First season episode boundaries, or no, second season boundaries.
Mhm.
Got to set the
Mhm.
boundaries. But yeah, I mean, so that's the problem I have with the blended families. Granted, I am cool with a lot of people. So a lot of people, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's my sis, that's my bro, and how intense that is one thing. But it's that respect level, or you cool enough to me that I would like you to be my sis, or you cool enough that you are like a bro to me, right? I mean, I got bros that's 20 years that go past this thing. We go back to Pal Talk if some of y'all is from that era. You know what I'm saying? Dev, that's one of them. Devilish Ways. That's my brother, 20 plus years. Okay. So, I mean, that's deeper than this SL thing could ever get, right? And I'm not saying it's perfect. You're gonna bump heads, you're gonna have disagreements, but that's still someone close to you. But this other stuff, hey, that's a little funny, a little different. But that's just my point. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
just my
Well,
question.
I guess I mean my the one sister. I mean I have different sisters now. I think I'm up to three. That's pretty good for 16 years. But I've had the same sister um, for 16 years, and most people know Jordan. Jordan's been with me through thick and thin. We have never had a disagreement. I could call her if I needed advice or, you know, just that's my sacred, that's my sacred sister, even, inside and outside of SL. So, and we've never had we've never had to set boundaries because we always knew where each other stood. So,
Right.
you've got people. I mean, I've had one of my daughters in here for 10 plus years, and she's still my daughter. And then, that comes with a whole slew of kids that she has, on that side, and I mean, I have other daughters and sons now, which has been great, but I'm saying she's probably been my longest standing uh, daughter, and we have a really good relationship. But I think it's I think it's those ones where people, you know, again, we have to go back and talk about, oh, well, this is just a game and we're just role playing. Well, it really isn't. And you and I, not putting too much of our business out there, but you and I have had some things in our family where it really didn't sit well, and it kind of tore one side of our family apart.
True.
Um,
Very true.
and so it kind of dampened all of those friendships. It caused a lot of breakups. It caused a lot of people not to talk to each other. It caused a lot of people to have to pick sides or not want to pick sides and sit on the fence because I love both of you, I just don't want to get involved, which is a whole different topic that we could go into. But it is what it is. And so what I say to that is, thank you, and next.
Right.
It's just
Right.
it's just I go back to that because it's like, again, you know um I am who I surround myself with, and if you don't stand for something, then you don't stand for anything, which means you'll stand for everything. And I'm just not one of those people in real life. Anybody that knows me in real life knows I'm just not that way. And so, again, I'm trying to kind of adapt myself to who I really am in real life and making sure that they understand that in second life. But for the most part, yes, that did cause a lot of trauma. But I look at the children that I actually have, and I think that we're the blended family that we've become. We're blessed. There are some of those that decide that they want to stay unhooked from us. Um, I've got my dad over here, I've got my mom over here, and you're not going to be my dad, and she's not going to be my mom. And, I'll talk to you if I feel like it. And, we both have those. And that's
Mhm.
okay because that's on them. That just tells me you're missing out on really what this is about and really not trying to go there. And people feel like if you break up with one, if one family member breaks up with another, oh, I can't talk to that person because then the other person is going to get mad. No, it's not how it works. Even if you were to look in today's society as far as getting a divorce in real life, do you stop your kids from going over to your ex's house or to ex's family's house because that's their family? So you got to think of it that way. But people get in their feelings about that and want you to choose sides. Not to say that that doesn't happen in real life, but if you're on a more mature level, you always know, Harry, we're here to raise our child together. We may not be together, but we're here to give our child the best possible chance ever of a great upbringing, instead of putting all this traumatic drama into their life that is going to mess them up when they get old, when they get old enough. Because we've grown up, we have our own traumas. So why do I want to bring a child into this world and give them those same traumas? I want to give them a chance in the world. And so people don't get that sometimes in SL. And so people feel like they have to choose sides. And that's okay if that's what they feel like. But I think eventually you're going to have to broaden your horizons, because once those people start to disappear, once those people start to move on with their lives, you're going to be stuck with no one.
Yep.
So, I just say be careful of sides that you pick, because this is what happened. And ultimately that is what happened to us. Is, they decided to pick sides, and that person's no longer really in SL. And so you want to come around, and we're like, no,
Right.
you did XYZ, and now you should live by that. So, but I mean, I think blended families can work. I think families in SL can work. I think families in SL are a great thing, because sometimes I'm actually closer to people in here than I am in my own real life family, that I can call on the phone, and blood, family is not just blood. That's what people kind of get wrong, you know. And so I have a whole family within SL. I'm not technically related to them, but they are my family. And so I just think, again, you have to set those boundaries. I did have something on my other side of my family where My grandkids started dating. But what ended up happening with that, which I could totally respect, is he decided to come out of the family so that he could date her. They ended up getting together in real life. And, one of my great great grandsons had a real issue of it and tried to blow up the family. But what ended up happening is our family unit was we were so tight, he ended up having to leave the family because we weren't leaving. We were okay with it. We didn't care.
Hmm.
So, because he decided to leave, it probably would have been more of a problem had he decided, okay, well, I'm family and I'm going to take this. But he decided to leave and still stayed. He was the in-law. He was okay with that. And he was probably closer to us than any of the other ones. So it wasn't really, we didn't have a problem. But again, it's doing the right thing for the family unit. And if you can do the right thing, then you're going to have a great family unit. If you're there to say, "Oh, this is just a game," and you're going to hurt anybody just to get what you want, which is what happened on the other side, it literally blew up,
Right.
unfortunately. So that's what I say on family units. And you got to give people a try. You may not you may not know the person that person's going to be with, but get to know that person. Don't be standoffish. Don't be, "Oh, I feel like I'm being, I feel like I'm in the middle." The only reason somebody's in the middle is because you choose to be. It's a choice.
Hmm. I
So,
agree.
yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, again, another successful show. Blended families. What's your take on it? Let us know. Send us that feedback and continue to send the topics, things that you would like to discuss. Make sure to reach out, Rain Radio, Bryson Capellini. Let us know, and we'll definitely add it into the show. It's always definitely like none of your information to be shared or who said what, but great topics. Just keep submitting them, and we'll definitely go through them and get them on the show. As always, Rain, great to have you here. Thank you for being here with us. And I'm Bryson Capellini, and I'm out.
Thank you.